Hi everyone, Rainey Bastarash here with the American School of Hypnosis. Do you wish you had some help? Do you wish you had help with your business, maybe for ideas, someone to use as a sounding board, or maybe even for your personal life or family life? Wouldn't it be great if you can get a hold of some of the greatest minds in the world, have them at your disposal to bounce ideas off whenever you like? Well, you know you can. And that's the purpose of this video. I'm going to show you how. It's actually called a mental mastermind group. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's a page I built a while back with my personal mastermind group. Now, what is it? Mastermind group, this is a way to help you to access ideas that you may not have had yourself initially, okay, by looking at a problem or situation and seeing it through different or various viewpoints. What you see here is a varied group of people, professionals who I really respect their opinion. I like where they're coming from. I learn from them. I follow them. I watch a lot of their teachings, read a lot of their books. So these are people that if I had in a boardroom with me that I feel could give me the best advice in almost anything. And I'm going to go over this a little bit further. But the whole idea is if I need help with something, let's say I'm trying to figure out a way to build my business. I want to institute a new idea, but all I have is my own mind, my own thoughts. I think the same way all the time. It would be refreshing to have some other ideas, some other input. So by sitting, what do you want to call it, meditating or just relaxing, and thinking about each person and what they would say, thinking about using your imagination, letting it go free, and what would, like in this case here, Tony Robbins say about my situation if I asked him for help. You see what I mean? He would come at something a different way than I would. So would Joel Osteen. So what would each one of these people say? So let me enlarge this a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so right here you can see my mastermind group. Now let me introduce them to you. Right over here, this is me. I'm the moderator. And to my right, I have Raluca. She's my sounding board, usually all the time. When I want to know something immediately, I'll ask her, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on that? So she can help me once I've gone through my board meeting and taken my minutes or taken my notes. I could run it past her as a sounding board. To the right of her, I have Tony Robbins, who's an author, best-selling author. He's got quite a few books. But he, I guess, helps me to understand that I can believe in myself. To the right of him is Bruce Lipton, the author of The Biology of Belief. He takes a more scientific stance to the thought process, to success. If you haven't read his book, you really need to. To the right of him is Esther Hicks. She's written many books on the law of attraction, everything having to do with the mind and thought. And to the right of her is the one and only Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich. And matter of fact, this idea for the mental mastermind group, I believe you'll find it in chapter 14 of Think and Grow Rich, if you want to have a lot more details. To the right of him is Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen is a spiritual teacher. He's a minister, and he teaches a lot about perseverance. Now, I love Joel just because he's a great speaker. And he always starts out his talks with a joke, so he uses a lot of humor. I love the way he speaks, and he's a very wise man. Below me, I feel like I'm on the Brady Bunch. Down here, okay, I have T. Harv Eker. He's the author of The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He is the master of passive income. That's why he's here. He helps me to figure out how to automate things. The man to the right of him needs no introduction. Albert Einstein, and when I think of him, I think about thinking outside of the box. You see how they're all bringing something else to the table, something different? Of course, the Dalai Lama, teaching patience and tolerance. If I get too far ahead of myself and too beta, too busy, he'll say, whoa, 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 calm down, deep breath, meditate. And to the right of him is Charlie Chaplin. He is a comedian, mime. He's just a funny guy, a very intelligent businessman as well. But he helps me to realize that I don't have to take myself so seriously, to loosen up. Maybe I could have a little fun in business. To the right of him is one of my heroes, Orman McGill, who was a national dean of hypnotists. To the right of him is Prem Rawat, and he is known as the Prince of Peace. He teaches all about inner peace. And when I say inner peace, going within yourself. And to the right of him, probably the greatest salesman who's ever lived, the great Zig Ziglar. He's a sales trainer, motivator. I've listened to so many of his videos and taken his training. Wonderful gentleman. So by having a board meeting with each one of them, you have a situation, let's say, here's a way I want to advertise. I want to do this big advertising campaign. What do you think, Tony? And Tony goes, well, go ahead and try it. If you don't try it, how will you know? And Bruce might be like, have you really researched it enough? And Esther, might say with, the law of attraction, if you believe you can do it, you can. Go ahead and try it. Napoleon Hill, again, he'd give me something having to do with thoughts. And Joel Osteen, everyone could give me different ideas. Some of them might have better ideas. But while you're relaxing, the whole idea is to relax. Now, don't close your eyes and go into hypnosis, but just relax lightly and imagine speaking to that person. So imagine speaking to Harv Eker right below me again, okay? So, oops, there. So, Harv, what do you think of this idea? He might say, well, it's a great idea, but have you tried to automate anything? Can you find a way of maybe even multiplying your efforts? What are you doing now for advertising? Is there a way of automating that so it can be done all the time, even while you're sleeping? Maybe if you're doing telemarketing, how about a telemarketing machine? I know those are very annoying, but just as an idea. If you're sending out mail, how about hiring somebody to send the mail out for you? So see, again, he might come up with ideas that I wouldn't think of on my own. So the whole idea is to go through each one of them, write down notes, take notes, and to consider them. Going back to the previous screen I had with the right over here, I'm hoping you can see it. It's not too small, but you see at the bottom, I have kind of the steps on what to do. So the meeting agenda, number one, choose your mastermind members. So think about who you want to choose. Who's important in your life? Who do you really respect their opinion? Get them in a format where you can see them so it helps your imagination process. The next step is to focus on the particular problem, whatever you're struggling with or the idea, and you need to start a discussion. Now, when you bring this problem or this situation or this opportunity or whatever it is to the board, be clear in what you want. Don't waste their time. So what is it you're asking for? So I'd like to know how this is going to work. I've researched it. This is what I think is going to happen. This, and that. So be clear, be precise, and then just lay it out to them so they can kind of give you their opinions, pick holes in it, whatever it is they might need to do. After that, go around the room, introduce each of them to each other, and go around and tell what they do like I did with you just a minute ago. Now, you already know who they are, but it's going to help to refresh it in your mind, help to keep your mind open to possibilities because, you might be talking to Bruce Lipton and right in the middle of it, Charlie Chaplin jumps in and says, hey, don't be so serious. Come on, lighten up on this. You're getting too scientific. You don't want to have an argument. You need to keep some reverence in the room, some order. Go through, introduce each one of them to yourself first, then put out the problem and go from each one. Give them some time. Okay, you need time to think of it too and relax. So what do you think, Tony? And sit there and wait. Just wait and think. Now, if you haven't gotten anything in a few minutes, then move on to the next one. Maybe Tony will come back with something later. You can go back to him if you want. Because not every situation you have, every one of them can relate to. Take time to listen. It's important to take time. This is not something to be rushed. Don't think it's silly. It's very important. You might get some really great ideas. And afterwards, thank them for coming to the meeting and participating. And then review all your answers. Now, do something with it. As Tony Robbins would say, he'd say, do it. So go through the answers you have, make a list of what you want to try, and do something with it. The other thing is, with these folks, you can meet with them twice a day if you want, because it doesn't just have to be with business. If you're having problems with your children and you don't know how to deal with the situation from your children, go ahead and ask them. Why? Because they might give you, or thinking through their minds, thinking how you think they would think, might give you an idea that you never thought of before. And that's the whole idea, is to jar different parts of your minds to give you more ideas. That's not to give you personality, like schizophrenic personality disorders. I don't want to do that. That's not the idea, okay? It's just to help you to expand your mind, to open up your imagination to new possibilities. So give it a shot. Have a wonderful day, and please share this with your friends. Bye-bye.